The story opens with a chilling scene, an ordinary office suddenly transformed into a nightmare. Giant spider webs cover every surface, stretching from desk to ceiling. Employees lie motionless, encased in translucent cocoons, eerily still like insects frozen in amber. The silence is broken only by a sharp, piercing sound. A massive stinger plunges into a trapped person, sending shivers down your spine. Imagine walking into your workplace tomorrow and seeing the familiar office frozen in a web of terror. It's a horrifying twist on the mundane, turning ordinary cubicles into a prison. This moment establishes the rules of this new world. Humans are vulnerable, insects are hunting, and nothing is as safe as it once seemed. It's not just about survival. It's about understanding a predator that's faster, smarter, and far more ruthless than anyone expected. The scene sets the stakes immediately, pulling viewers into a world where fear is constant, and every moment could be your last. From here, we meet the hero, the person who will navigate this chaos, Cooper. Meet Cooper, a relatable yet imperfect protagonist. He's late for work, juggling a tense phone call with his father, who scolds him for embarrassing the family name. Cooper fumbles to prove he's responsible, but in his distraction he almost gets hit by a car. This moment humanizes him. He's not a superhero, just a normal guy who makes mistakes, the kind of person viewers can connect with. Cooper finally reaches his office, a call center at a clinic, cracking jokes with colleagues to mask his anxiety. His humor shows resilience, a small light amid an otherwise ordinary day. But the tension is real. He's about to face more than deadlines or parental disappointment. This ordinary life is about to collide with the extraordinary horror that's begun to unfold outside and inside the office. By showing Cooper's flaws and charm, we invest in him as a character, the lens through which we will experience the chaos and terror of the insect invasion. His journey from a distracted worker to a survivor begins here. Just as Cooper starts settling in, reality twists violently. He's called to his boss Morin's office over a complaint about his behavior, tension rising like steam in a pressure cooker. But before the conversation can escalate, a deafening, otherworldly sound shakes the building. Every employee collapses, unconscious, leaving the office frozen in a terrifying stillness. Days pass. When Cooper finally wakes, he finds the office transformed. Floors and ceilings covered in thick, sticky webs and strange crawling insects everywhere. The world outside mirrors this chaos. It's not just the office under siege, but entire streets where people lie trapped in cocoons. The ordinary workplace, once mundane and safe, now feels like a prison filled with hidden predators. This sudden shift shocks both Cooper and viewers. The rules have changed. Survival isn't about following schedules or office politics anymore. It's about understanding a relentless, intelligent enemy that strikes without warning. Cooper's ordinary life is gone, and the real fight begins. Cooper awakens, disoriented and coated in a strange white slime. Panic sets in as a giant beetle suddenly lunges at him, its armored legs snapping like steel traps. Fear grips him, but instinct kicks in. He pushes the creature away, realizing that hesitation could be fatal. This is his first taste of real danger, and it's nothing like dodging cars or office gossip. As he catches his breath, he notices his boss, Morin, trapped in a nearby cocoon. Despite her previous strictness, Cooper tears the webbing and frees her, showing courage and empathy even under extreme stress. Morin, sick and confused, realizes that her ordinary responsibilities mean nothing in this new reality. This section establishes the stakes. The insects are relentless, deadly, and everywhere. Cooper's first fight proves he can act under pressure, but it also shows that survival depends on quick thinking, courage, and forming alliances. The road ahead will demand more than bravery. It will require strategy and trust. Cooper and Morin step into the chaotic streets and, well, they quickly discover that everyone outside is trapped in these enormous cocoons. Panic kind of mixes with determination as Morin suddenly spots her daughter, Sarah, trapped inside a car. Cooper doesn't hesitate. He rushes over, breaking through the sticky webbing to free her. But survival isn't straightforward. Out of fear, Sarah sprays gas at Cooper, thinking he's some kind of threat. Before they can even regroup, a massive wasp-like insect swoops down and snatches Morin right up into the sky. Sarah screams, totally helpless, and the reality really sinks in. This isn't just a local infestation. The insects are organized, intelligent, and deadly. Now, Cooper and Sarah have no choice but to rely on each other, forming a fragile but essential alliance. This step builds the emotional core of the story: fear, trust, and teamwork. We see that survival isn't just about fighting monsters. It's about protecting others, making split-second decisions, and facing horrifying losses. Cooper is no longer just a survivor. He's become a protector and a strategist. As Cooper and Sarah make their way through the city, they start to notice something surprising. The insects always react to sound. When a garbage can falls and rattles, dozens of massive beetles instantly swarm toward the noise. This discovery, honestly, turns terror into strategy. Suddenly, noise can be used as a tool to control or distract the predators. The survivors experiment carefully. Using a radio, they manage to lure a beetle into a closet, trapping it so they can study its venom. Lychee, the scientist among them, carefully extracts samples and reveals that the poison actually acts as a sedative, and that the insects emit a strange red gas into the air. These insights transform fear into knowledge. The enemy is no longer completely unpredictable. This part really emphasizes intelligence and observation in survival. Like soldiers learning enemy tactics, the group begins to understand their adversaries, and they start preparing for bigger confrontations. Knowledge becomes their weapon, showing that brains can be just as important as bravery in a life-or-death fight. Tensions rise as the survivors debate what to do next. Some, like Roger and PJ, just ignore all warnings and jump into a truck, desperate to escape. But the roar of the engine is like a beacon, attracting massive beetles that smash the vehicle in seconds. PJ is crushed under the wheels, and Roger is dragged away by tentacles. Even trained authorities, like the police officer in their group, are killed when they underestimate the insects. This moment really highlights a crucial survival lesson. In a crisis, impulsive actions can be fatal. Every sound, every movement, every decision matters. The survivors quickly learn that instinct alone isn't enough. Careful observation, planning, and teamwork are absolutely crucial. Cooper and Sarah, watching the chaos unfold, realize that even the smallest misstep could mean the difference between life and death. By showing the real consequences of mistakes, this section raises the tension and underscores the stakes, preparing viewers for the survivors' next strategic moves. After witnessing the deadly consequences of impulsive actions, the survivors regroup and form a strategy. Cooper suggests heading to his retired military father's bunker, which is, honestly, a secure location stocked with supplies and weapons. The group agrees, but, the journey is long and dangerous, with massive, sound-sensitive insects everywhere. They carefully plan each step, avoiding noisy vehicles, moving in small, controlled groups, and stopping at each member's home to gather supplies. Lychee continues to study the insects, providing critical insights into their behavior and venom, turning scientific observation into a survival tool. Cooper also begins to bond with Sarah, which, in a way, creates emotional stakes that reinforce why the mission matters. This section really emphasizes teamwork, strategy, and resourcefulness. Survival isn't just about fighting, it's about planning, learning from mistakes, and protecting one another. Here, hope starts to emerge from knowledge and collaboration, setting the stage for the high-stakes journey ahead. Along the way, the survivors encounter a horrifying new threat: mutated humans. At Cindy's brother's house, they find people in cocoons, but shockingly, one emerges as a half-human, half-insect creature. The mutant attacks, wounding Cooper, and chaos just erupts. Cindy tries to reason with her transformed brother, but he is, unfortunately, beyond saving. Hugo and Albert step in, stabbing the creature with whatever weapons they have at hand. This confrontation reveals that the insect threat isn't limited to the natural world. It's creating monsters from humans, blurring the line between friend and foe. Cooper and the group learn that, honestly, vigilance is necessary not just against insects, but against the consequences of the infestation on humanity itself. This moment really raises both the emotional stakes and the horror intensity. Viewers feel the vulnerability of the survivors. Any encounter could be lethal, and trust is, well, fragile. The journey isn't just about escape, it's about navigating a world where the familiar has become deadly. The survivors reach the outskirts of the insect's nest, a terrifying hive of activity. Sarah catches a glimpse of the queen laying eggs, this enormous, monstrous creature at the very heart of the infestation. Every step they take is honestly a life-or-death gamble. One wrong move could alert the entire swarm. Cooper, Ethan, and Hugo prepare for a high-stakes assault, fully aware that strategy and timing are really their only allies now. Inside the nest, the sounds are just deafening. The queen emits these piercing, almost ultrasonic screams that disorient humans, but not Hugo, since his hearing impairment shields him. Cooper and the team fight back with explosives and firearms, using what they've learned about the insect's behavior to their advantage. Suddenly, Ethan begins to transform after being stung, adding a whole new urgency. They must destroy the nest quickly or risk losing themselves to mutation. This moment pushes the story to its absolute climax. The tension peaks as the survivors face the core threat, forcing them to combine courage, strategy, and knowledge to confront the apex predator of this nightmare world. The final confrontation begins in full force. Cooper, Hugo, and Ethan engage the queen directly, dodging attacks and firing explosives with precision. The queen's deafening screams threaten to disorient them, but all their preparation and teamwork give them an edge. Ethan, even as he starts to transform, fights through the pain to help destroy the hive. In a decisive moment, Hugo throws explosives into the queen's lair, while Cooper fires to ensure total destruction. The nest erupts in flames, shattering into pieces and eliminating the immediate threat. The survivors, exhausted and battered, escape just in time. This climax really combines suspense, strategy, and raw human courage, delivering the story's highest tension and the payoff of all their prior learning and planning. Their victory shows that survival takes more than bravery. It demands intelligence, collaboration, and the ability to act decisively under extreme pressure. The hive's destruction marks both relief and, honestly, the beginning of recovery. With the hive destroyed, Cooper, Sarah, and Hugo emerge into a world still scarred, but, for now, momentarily safe. The city is quiet, filled with freed people slowly recovering from the cocoons. Birdsong replaces the deafening insect noise, kind of a symbol of nature reclaiming balance. Cooper wakes in a hospital, greeted by Sarah and Hugo, showing that survival also means healing and reconnecting. The group begins helping others, freeing people trapped in cocoons and restoring a sense of community. Emotional wounds start to heal alongside physical ones, and the bonds between survivors grow stronger. Yet, there's this lingering unease. The insects may have been defeated, but mutations and hidden threats remind everyone that vigilance is never over. This section really reinforces resilience and hope. It shows that after chaos, recovery begins through cooperation, courage, and empathy. Viewers feel both relief and tension, understanding that survival is an ongoing process, not just a single victory. Even after the hive's destruction, the story leaves us with a haunting question. Have the insects truly disappeared, or are new threats emerging? Cooper, Sarah, and Hugo look back, only to glimpse something terrifying in the distance, a chilling reminder that survival is never guaranteed. This unresolved ending keeps viewers on edge, mixing relief with lingering suspense. The conclusion also reflects on human resilience. Despite loss, danger, and mutation, the survivors adapted, strategized, and protected one another. They really embody courage, intelligence, and teamwork, qualities that viewers can relate to in real-world challenges. Finally, the story encourages audience engagement. What do you think awaits the survivors? Could the insects return, or are mutated humans the next threat? Share your thoughts in the comments, like, and subscribe to follow their journey. This leaves viewers invested, eager for the next chapter, while reinforcing the narrative's suspense and intensity.